Good evening, Ajit. Thanks for sending me the new video. I'm actually going to start my commentary with this older video because the quality is a little higher and I can show you some details. I'm going to use the I-Form video here to talk to you about some technical issues that you need to work on. And I'm going to use the hand 1 video that you sent me to talk more about hand 1. The technical issues are in both, but it's easier to show in this video. I'm using a program called Coach's Eye, which allows me to show your video at whatever speed I want. We're going to focus on 4 things. First thing we're going to focus on is where are your eyes when you're doing your kata. And when you're practicing, you can glance down after a move to check where the move is. But when you're actually performing the kata, you want to keep your eyes up. I'll show you some places in this video where that's significant. The second thing we're going to concentrate on is the consequences of overstepping or taking much longer steps than you need to. When you step in your kata, your feet come pretty high off the ground and you take almost a running step forward. It's pretty obvious from that pose how much you're overstepping. Then your foot is shooting out, and if you notice how far you're stepping, the result, and I can draw cool little arrows with this program, is that your back foot is actually off the ground before you've even landed. Okay, so when you overstep, one of 2 things is going to happen. The first thing that happens is your back foot leaves the ground, and the other thing that happens is you get what I call bouncy steps. I'm going to show you a bouncy step in just a second. Boom, right there. So if I back that up a little bit and I show it in slow motion, I want to see how hard you bounce. Your foot hits the ground pretty hard. You're looking down, by the way. And then because you've overstepped so much, your whole body sort of bounces with that extra energy. And back to regular speed. So overstepping is part of it, and we'll talk about how to fix that in a minute. I also want to point out your forward stances. So generally speaking, this is a really good position to show forward stance in. Let's see, here's the step, here's the landing, there's the bounce. You can actually see your belt bouncing back and forth, and your heels leave the ground right there. That's interesting. I'm looking for a good forward stance. That's not one. Let's back up. Okay, so let's use this one. Great. So this is actually on the block. Not a bad forward stance. What we want to see is we want to see the front leg bent at this angle. We want to see the front toe going straight down this white line. And we want to see your weight on your heel so that your back toe points forward at an angle. If I can find another forward stance to show you to illustrate, I will. So let's go back to where we just were. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, moving on. Here's a good section to show where your eyes are when you're moving. The 4th thing that I want to mention is, so we've got eyes up, not overstepping, the shape of your forward stance, and the 4th thing I want you to focus on is where is your other hand on most of these moves. So see how your reaction arm, your non-blocking hand, is way out to the side. Similar thing here, way out to the side. And if you notice, your eyes are actually looking down. My theory is one reason you look down so much is you're taking such big steps that your body reflexively is trying to make sure you're landing properly. But you shouldn't be landing, you should be walking. You don't look at the ground when you walk, right? Okay. And in this one, both hands are sort of flown out. This hand is flying up and this hand is flying around the back. What should be happening right now is that your chest should be facing forward. Okay? Your belly button should be facing, let's use the arrow, forward. Okay? Good news is your front foot is forward and your knee is bent. That's pretty awesome. But because your step is so long, your body is rotated sideways. So we're going to take shorter steps. That, incidentally, was the best stance in the whole kata. If you look at the final stance, you've got eyes forward, fist forward, other fist stuck clearly to your side. You're still turned a little sideways, but we can straighten that out a little bit. And your knee is bent, but also slightly rotated. And your back foot is at least angled forward. So this is probably the best forward stance in the whole kata. And in the next few steps, you're going to see both the bounce step and the one where the heels leave the ground. Heel up, bounce, heel up. And we're going right back down the middle. This is basically, actually, one more time to stop. I don't want to make this video too long, but I want to show you, if I play this at half speed, overstep, heel up, overstep, heel up, and bounce. Looking down at the ground, looking at me in the middle of a turn. Oh, that was a good forward stance right there, by the way. I'd like to point out the good ones because they do happen. So right about here, boom. Not a bad forward stance. Very turned sideways. I think it was the one before what I was looking at. Let's see. Arm flying out to the side. Boom. Hi, Ajit, staring at me while he's doing his kata. Funny, funny. Okay. That looked like a better forward stance than it was, but at least your back leg is straight and your front knee is somewhat bent, but it's completely turned off to the left. Okay, let's see if the other one's better. What I really like about this turn is how your weight is actually on this heel, which enables your foot to rotate as your body rotates. We're going to talk more about that some other time. Boom. That is the best forward stance in the kata, I think. We have eyes almost up, fist a little high for a lower block, but front knee bent, back foot starting to angle forward, and not bad. Heel way up on that one, obviously. All right, back to the other kata.